Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Cary Stadium in Ocean City for Day 3 of the Battle at the Beach here in beautiful OC. Mike Frankel alongside Mark Narducci for the call today as Millville gets set to take on Thomas Jefferson. Jaguars coming down to the shore from Pennsylvania, Mark. It's one of those interesting New Jersey PA matchups today. Both of these teams
well established. Of course, Millville coming off a regional championship last year. Thomas Jefferson had won 5 of the last 6 Class 4A titles. A little bit down last year for the Jaguar standards. 3rd in the Big 8 Conference and a loss in the WPIAL semis. But this should be a good one here this morning.
Well, it shows you what type of program this is when they went 8-3 and it was considered a disappointing season, right? Both teams have plenty of big-time players. One thing we have to mention, Mike, the starting quarterback, Luke Costco, will not be playing for Thomas Jefferson because he is ineligible. He's a transfer, and the eligibility has not been straightened out yet, so he will not be going today.
Jacob Zamont will make his first start on the varsity level for Millville, junior. One of the top-rated quarterbacks in the preseason, obviously Division I prospect. And then talk about the weapons for Millville, Mark. I mean, Latzir Brooks is still just a sophomore, nearly 1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns as a freshman, just an unbelievable talent.
Yeah, multiple Division I offers. The most recent one came from Oregon, so we're really looking forward to seeing number 2 on both sides of the ball where he can be dominant.
Millville kicks it away to begin the ball game. Thomas Jefferson dressed in the gold jerseys, white pants, receiving the kickoff. It's taken back to about the 35-yard line where the Jaguars will begin. Of course, head coach Bill Chirpic, 292 wins, now in his 28th season. Long-time head man at Thomas Jefferson. And by the way, Bert Ayala in his first season as head coach of Millville, taking over. He was on staff, of course, for a number of years under Dennis Thomas. Thomas taking a job at Rutgers during the offseason. So this is the first game for the new head coach at Millville, Bert Ayala.
Was on the staff for 5 years, the offensive coordinator the last 3.
And it looks like the Bolts jumped early here. I think they're going to get Marcus Offer. Getting a little excited there. Offer, one of the big-time line players for Millville, still just a sophomore, 6'1", 260, another Division I prospect. We talked about Brooks. Teron Hale is another kid with multiple Division I offers, still just a junior for Millville. He'll play both ways. And then Keon German really keys the defense from that linebacker spot. He'll wear number 21 in white today.
Jaguars in the eye to begin this game. 1st and 5 now after the penalty. Handoff, and not much there as Millville smokes that out in the backfield there. Good penetration that time by number 53, Offer. So Offer committed the penalty. He makes up for it there with a tackle for maybe a loss or no gain.
And by the way, Thomas Jefferson quarterback is sophomore Brody Evans, 6'4", 195. Again, they have several good-looking sophomores who they have at this position. So, again, plenty of depth.
Jordan, no doubt. Jordan Mayer, the big-time D1 recruit for the Jaguars, a Wisconsin commit, senior, tight end, defensive end. He's wearing number 33 today.
In the gun now. Handoff, draw play right up the middle, close to first down yardage, but maybe a yard or two short. That was number 25, Elias Lippincott on the carry. He's their returning guy there in the backfield, 854 yards last season, 12 touchdowns. Also, Sean Sullivan from the wide receiver spot put up some big numbers last year, nearly 550 yards receiving and 6 touchdowns. So a lot of production back for both of these teams here this year. Bring up our first 3rd down of the game here. Be 3rd and 1 for Thomas Jefferson. Give goes right up the middle, and powering forward and picking up that first down is Lippincott. Elias has good size on him. The junior running back just going right up the middle that time and getting what he needed.
Great leg drive, too. He had Solomon Massey Kent from Millville, number 0, made the tackle, but he dragged him a couple of yards, and they have the first down.
So TJ converts there. And now the Jaguars have a fresh set of downs. It'll be Evans under center again. I formation behind him. Motion coming to the near side of the field. Evans fakes the handoff, rolling to his right, looking, still looking. Now he lobs a pass, and he has a man. A catch made right along the sideline there. That's Ryan Lowry, senior wide receiver, and he has enough for a first down.
That's a tremendous throw by Hale, because he had to throw that over number 11, Teron Hale, that time. I mean, a terrific throw that time by Evans. Had to throw it over Hale, had to show some pretty good touch on that.
Brody Evans showing off the wheels a little bit there as they rolled him out to the right, eluded a little bit of pressure. Good work by the offensive line as well to allow Evans to make that play. So first down now. Lippincott gets the call off right tackle. Didn't get much there, maybe a gain of a yard. We mentioned Lippincott, the featured back a year ago. 12 touchdowns on the ground.
You know, Keon German, number 21, made that tackle. He's going to be a very active linebacker, has tremendous speed, closed very quickly on that play.
Millville, a ton of returning starters on offense, not as many on defense, but what you will see is a lot of guys who played offense or maybe a little bit of defense last year really going both ways for the Bolts this season. Single back set now. Evans under center. Lippincott about 7 yards deep. They go back to Lippincott, and he has some room to run here, just shaking off tackles. He is tough to bring down, still on his feet. Finally pushed out of bounds, but not before he rumbles all the way close to the 20-yard line, and another first down for the Jaguars.
Lippincott showed some
Great patience there. It looked like Millville had strung that play out pretty well. Still able to make the big gain for the first down. By the way, Mike, Nathan Everly, the 6'6", 255-pound senior right tackle, out today for Thomas Jefferson due to injury.
Still a lot of size on that line. Peyton Kruger, Nick Florian, a couple of veterans on that line. You know, in talking to Millville head coach Bert Ayala before the season, he was concerned about the size up front, and he's seeing that early on here. Lippincott on the carry again, this time up the middle. Millville does a nice job to stop that play. For little to no gain, that's Kevin White, number 54 in white, leading the charge on the tackle.
White, 6'1", 220 junior. Again, one of the keys to this Millville defense, you know, we talk about all their great speed offensively. They also have pretty good speed on the defensive side of the ball, and that includes the linemen as well.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 9. Still the first.
You see two contrasting styles, Mike, kind of like a ground and pound from Thomas Jefferson. Millville may want to go through the air a little bit more.
Millville yet to have the football here, is approaching 8 minutes on the clock. 4-minute drive and counting for the Jaguars. Looking to throw now, sails one out wide and broken up there. A bit of a dangerous pass as it kind of hung up in the air there, and Millville is able to break that play up. Number 1 on the spot, and that's Lodzier Brooks. We talked about him off of the top. So dangerous on O, but he's a playmaker on D as well.
Yeah, that was a well-run play to get an open receiver, but that ball just had way too much air on it. And you know Brooks, whenever he gets his hands on the ball, he's looking to go the other way.
Millville, we talked about
A 12-1 campaign a year ago under head coach Dennis Thomas, beating Ocean City in the South Jersey final, and then beating Winslow at Rutgers in a regional final. Of course, their state championships for the first time this year in New Jersey. Millville is eyeing that. Screenplay here, and it really just never developed. Millville was into the backfield in a hurry, and that'll set up 4th and long.
They were looking for tight end Mayer on a delay there that time, ball thrown behind, but I'll tell you, if they would have been able to get it to him, there was some open space. It was a well-designed play, just not executed the way Thomas Jefferson wanted.
So it looks like the Jaguars will keep their offense on the field here. It'd be a long field goal for high school standards, of course. So 4th down. Ball is just outside the 20. Jaguars need about 9 yards here to pick up a first. See what head coach Bill Chirpick dials up.
A dangerous player coming out of the backfield. You always have to watch Lippincott. And he's a lone guy. We'll see if he stays in the block or...
And first we'll have a timeout, and that timeout is called by Thomas Jefferson. So it'll be that before a fourth down play here with 7:52 to go here in the first. Winning teams know that the key to success is getting the job done right the first time. For over 100 years, Calvi Electric has applied that philosophy to their business to offer an unparalleled level of electrical expertise and service to every single customer. Now you can bring Calvi's expertise into your home for your electrical problems or improvements, and they can install solar panels that will save you money. Make Calvi Electric a part of your winning team. Call 609-345-0151 or visit calvielectric.com. If you're planning to build a home, make your first step a visit to Halliday Leonard. Halliday Leonard will consult you on your design and assist the development of your custom home. They build single homes that fit most any budget, plus condominiums, townhouses, and commercial buildings. Get your ideas together and take them to Halliday Leonard, 700 Haven Avenue in Ocean City, or phone them at 398-5737. Halliday Leonard will help make your dream home a reality. So 4th and long here. Thomas Jefferson, offense back on the field. Still the opening drive of the game. Jaguars receiving the opening kickoff. They've marched to just about the Millville 20.
Brooks on Sullivan on the outside. That's an interesting matchup.
Evans looking to throw, looking down the seam, has a man, a low throw, and a great catch is made. No, they're going to wave it off. They'll say that ball hit the ground. Mayer seemingly able to reel that one in, but it skipped off the turf, the officials are saying, so it'll be Millville ball and a turnover on downs.
Mike, one thing I think we're going to see Thomas Jefferson come back to is that tight end over the middle. There was a lot of room there. There was a lot of room a couple plays before when the ball was not thrown well. So I think Mayer could be a real factor in this passing game today.
Mayer, the future Wisconsin Badger. Number of Division I offers. And now we'll get our first look at the 2022 Millville offense, expected to be explosive and high-powered with Jacob Zamat driving the car, if you will. Took a handful of snaps last year, and his first throw was a little bit low. The whistle that dead, as it was a forward pass. Looking for Hale, and maybe a little first play jitters there from Zamat.
Second down.
Of course, one of the keys for Millville is the running game. They have to replace the great LaQuint Allen, who had such a great year rushing for 1,913 yards, 22 TDs. He's now at Syracuse.
Nice to see LaQuint stay in the orange there at the Cuse, but you're right. He was consensus player of the year by many media outlets in the state last season. Here's Zamat in the gun again, 2nd and 10. Keep it on the ground this time, and not a whole lot there. That defensive front from Thomas Jefferson, big 58 Nick Florian leading the way on that charge. It'll be a tackle for loss.
That was Jamal Wallace Jr. We knew about his father, played for Millville as well.
Nick Florian.
That's going to be the key. Can Millville get anything on the ground? Kind of keep Thomas Jefferson from teeing off on a pass rush.
3rd and long. Zamat looking over the middle, has a man, just couldn't connect that time. Off of the hand of Thomas Smith III, and it's a very quick 3 and out. In fact, a drive that went backwards for Millville.
And 12. Number 11, John Sullivan back.
Again, the Thunderbolts expected to be one of the better schools in South Jersey this year, but this is a tough test today. This is a very good Thomas Jefferson team that
expects to win, as we talked about off of the top. One of the top teams in PA year in and year out. And this will be a good test for both teams here at the Battle at the Beach. Punt is away. Caught right at the 45-yard line and then bullied to the ground there as number 1, Laurie, fielded it. No fair catch. He took a shot. Tough kid hanging in there, and he's able to hang on to the football.
Brought down immediately by number 7, Keyshawn Jones.
So it'll be our second look now at the Thomas Jefferson offense.
How about that special teams play by 7, Keyshawn Jones?
The Jaguars first.
Gunners getting down the field there and delivering the boom. Jaguars moving the ball in that first series, of course, but coming up empty. See if they can get some points on the board here.
Left tackle Peyton Kruger, number 73, a guy to watch. 6'2", 295. He'll certainly be running behind him quite a bit.
Jaguars in the eye, motion, right to left. Fake the toss, going up top here. Evans down the seam, has a man, and making the catch and tumbling to the 10-yard line is Laurie. So Ryan Laurie leaps for that one, hauls it in, and it'll be 1st and 10 from just outside the 10. They'll mark him down at the 12, but a big chunk play there for TJ.
Well, what set that up was the play action. It was a tremendous job of play action at that time. That held everybody up. And Evans able to connect on that throw, and Lowry really extending for that catch.
Lowry, a senior.
Interesting that they threw on 1st down like that. They're really mixing things up here.
Certainly catching the Bolts off guard there. 1st and 10 at about the 12.
Lippincott here.
Hand off to Lippincott right on cue, but Millville has that one covered. They take care of business in the backfield. A number of players in there, including number 21, Keon German, but a good push up front from that defensive line of the Bolts.
Edison Andino, 55, just really put a shot on them.
Andino.
Yeah, this is impressive the way Millville is playing, because this is an excellent offensive line, and the Millville defense is more than holding its own at this point.
Andino, one of the senior captains for head coach Bert Ayala this season. Evans now in the gun here, 2nd and 11. Looking to his left, floating pass to the corner of the end zone, and just a little bit too far as number 11 there, Sean Sullivan, runs into a photographer down there. It looks like everybody's okay. I'm not sure about the camera, but Sullivan hustling back to the huddle. Pretty good coverage on the play by Millville there, and that pass sailed harmlessly out of the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, Kashawn Jones, who made that great special teams play on the coverage that time.
So another 3rd down play here for the Jaguars. 5:38 to go in this 1st quarter. Game 1 of day 3 at the Battle at the Beach. 2 more games to follow, including Cherokee Holy Spirit coming up at 2 o'clock. Evans in the gun, again looking left. Quick pass this time to Lippincott, flipped it out there, and those two just couldn't connect. So a missed opportunity there. Looked to be some real estate in front of Lippincott there.
And you're right, Mike. That's a well-designed play, because who was in front of Lippincott was his big lineman, his left tackle, Peyton Kruger, and there could have been some space that he could have cleared out. That's a well-designed play. They've had a lot of good plays. Execution just hasn't been where the Jaguars have wanted it.
So the field goal unit will come out here as the Jaguars try to put 3 points on the board. Andrew Graham is the kicker for TJ. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So Graham boots it through, and
The Jaguars are on the board. They take the lead 3-0. Gillian's Wonderland Pier, 6th Street and the Boardwalk in Ocean City is a popular summer destination. Gillian's will be open until 10 this weekend and through Labor Day weekend, and they will give you a chance to enjoy their amusement rides every weekend in September. The summer continues through September at Gillian's Wonderland Pier, 6th and the Boardwalk in Ocean City. Visit them online at Gillians.com. Shore True Value Hardware in Summers Point hopes that you will continue to shop locally. They offer friendly service and expert advice at Shore Hardware. They'll do anything to help. They're open weekdays until 7, Saturdays until 6, Sundays until 4. Help is just around the corner at Shore True Value Hardware, 515 New Road in Summers Point. Call them at 609-927-6464 or visit them online at shorehardware.com. Mark, I believe 37 yards on that field goal, and plenty of leg on that one too, so something to keep an eye on there. You just never know what you're going to get in the kicking game at the high school level, but certainly the Jaguars have a kicker they can trust there in Graham.
Graham is he's a good athlete, and he's also the punter on this team. He also plays quarterback and linebacker, but don't think we'll see him at either of those positions today.
Got to protect that foot, no doubt. Graham getting set to kick this one away to the Bolts. So the Jaguars strike first by way of a field goal. Now Millville looks to answer. Kick is fielded by Brooks. That's dangerous at the 15. Latsier Brooks Still on the move, bounces it outside and runs out of room right around the 40 there. We saw him return a kickoff for a touchdown in the Battle at the Beach last season. He put on a show here, and I don't know if that's by design to kick it to him. He's explosive, but TJ able to corral him that time.
Got a nice block by his teammate 22, Demir White, who probably got him another 10 yards with that block.
So this Millville drive will begin on its own 39-yard line.
Millville's going to be alternating its backs a lot.
Naeem Sharp will get some looks as well. Man in motion now. Handoff goes up the middle, and I believe that is Sharp who gets the call on this drive. Not much there. Give him a gain of 2. Bring up 2nd and 8.
Handoff goes number 6, Naeem Sharp.
Naeem Sharp, not very big, 5'6", 155. By the way, Mayer on the tackle. We're going to be calling 33 quite a bit this game.
He's a force on defense, no doubt about it. Sharp, by the way, still just a junior. Saw some action last year. Had a touchdown at Rutgers in that final game. This pass is skipped off of the turf, so Mott just not on the same page right now with his receivers early. Again, making his first varsity start. Highly touted junior quarterback, but sat behind Nate Robbins each of the last 2 seasons in Millville, now getting his first chance to start for the Bolts.
Again, a well-designed play. Thomas Smith III open on that. Both teams have had receivers open here in this first quarter.
In the gun is Zamat, climbing the pocket a bit. And that throw was on the money, but just not ready for it was Brooks.
Well, you know what happened on that play, Mike? Number 53, Marcus Offer, the lineman, was right in front of him. I think he almost served as a screen there, and I didn't think Brooks got a good look at it.
Almost looked like Brooks wasn't expecting that pass. And I think the pressure sort of led to the outcome there, as maybe that play went a little quicker than it's drawn up in practice.
Offer the center for this Millville team. Big part of that offensive line.
So Millville punts this one away. Nice kick, should take a Millville bounce, or actually it bounces sideways and takes more of a Jaguars bounce. It'll go out of bounds right around the 32-yard line. Johnson's Popcorn is known all over the Delaware Valley, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. They're open all year at 1368 Boardwalk at Ocean City. Call them at 1-800-842-2676 or go online at johnsonspopcorn.com to place your order. Johnson's Popcorn since 1940. Shoppies is even better online. You may know their showroom at 1031 Shore Road in Linwood, but you can order whatever you need at Shoppy.com. Remember, you're not presenting the best trophy if it's not a Shoppy trophy. Call them at 609-653-1684. Shoppies since 1921, now starting a new century. So the Jaguars go right back to work on offense.
Usually when they're under center, they'll run the ball like they do now.
Lippincott, not much doing there, though. The Millville front, and they think there's a fumble on the play, and that is the call on the field. So a big takeaway there from the Thunderbolts. They have the football, and they'll take over in great field position.
I think Marcus Offer, who we were just talking about as a center, number 53, was right in the middle of that play, causing havoc. Big break for the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered. If you're head coach Bert Ayala, your offense is really struggling, so you need someone else to step up, another unit. Here it's the defense with the takeaway and presenting that offense with a short field.
So, Mark, it looks like the initial call was Millville football, but it is going to be Jaguars football. Yep. So the officials have talked things over, and they're going to keep possession with Thomas Jefferson. So what we thought was a big break for Millville turns out to be a break for the Jaguars, as they'll maintain possession here, 2nd and long.
I'll tell you, Evans is really good on play action. He's really been holding up the lineman a second or so with his play action fakes.
Evans in the gun here. Looking, setting up a little screen play, and that is blown up. Number 0, Solomon Massey Kent. Johnny on the spot, and for a tackle for loss.
I'll tell you, some toughness shown by Sean Sullivan, catching that and holding on to it. That was a real stick that he got that time.
So it'll set up 3rd and about 16 here. Thomas Jefferson going backwards. Still fortunate to have the football after that call in the field that was overturned. Initially ruled a fumble, recovered by Millville when the officials got together and decided it was still Thomas Jefferson football, but now 3rd and long. 3:08 to go here in the first. 3-0 Jaguars. Evans, high snap. He's able to grab it, looking to his right, and that ball is tipped and broken up again. Massey Kent has been very effective on this defensive series with the tackle for loss and the pass breakup, and that'll force a punt from TJ.
I'll tell you, I think Evans is fortunate. He threw into a lot of coverage there.
A lot of
That
white.
was not the place to go.
You're right, Mark. A lot of white jerseys in the area.
Now we'll get a look at Graham, who made that 37-yard field goal back here punting.
Looks like it's sharp right around the 45-yard line for Millville. Pressure off of the edge, almost getting there. This ball will go over the head of Sharp, and this will be a tremendous punt. Still bouncing inside the 15, still rolling, and the Jaguars let it go all the way down to the 10-yard line. And so a tremendous punt. The kicking game, special teams, that's been the difference so far here today.
Mike, by the way, Demir White, 22 for Millville, came pretty close to that one, put on a lot of pressure. Good job by Graham getting that off.
Yeah, Graham with a deliberate approach there. I mean, you know, he's a kid who's obviously been doing it quite a while, so he knew where the pressure was coming off the edge and wanted to get that foot behind it, and it was a very effective punt. So another chance for the Millville offense, which really hasn't done much here in this first quarter. Zamat giving some instructions now. Wallace Jr. gets the carry. Tries to cut it up a little bit there, but not a whole lot, as Wallace Jr. runs into some bodies there.
Yeah, I'm not sure Millville's going to be able to run outside like that because Thomas Jefferson is doing a great job of stringing things out. East to west may not work as much, although that Millville's trying to take advantage of his speed to get to the outside.
They give him 3. 2nd and 7. Zamat, quick pass this time to Brooks. Brooks sticks a foot in the ground and a nice tackle there, saving a possible big play there. Play made by number 32, Matt Martinez, sophomore. And a big tackle there, Mark.
Very rarely you'll see Brooks that wide open.
It's enough for a first, though. New set of downs for Millville. Draw play here, and again, not a whole lot there. Gain of about 3. And we do have a player that's slow to get up for the Jaguars. Now he does pop up. That's Mayer. I'm sure Thomas Jefferson fans are excited to see him get up after that. So Millville's offense with its first, sniff of momentum here, picking up a first down, positive yards on the ensuing first down play. Now 2nd and 7. Under 1:30 to go here in the first. Zamat stepping to the line, now backing up. And we have a whistle here. I think they're going to allow Mayer to come off. We mentioned he was a little shaken up, slow to get up after that play. And the officials must have seen something where they wanted him to come out for a play.
He looked a little shaken up earlier also offensively, so we'll monitor that because he's such a big contributor both sides of the ball.
Now the officials are calling someone else out. You can only guess this has to be a mouthpiece issue here. As they're asking number 23, Bryce Heller, to come off. A lot of times that's what that situation is. Mouthpiece in after he's been warned. So here we go. 2nd and long. Sharp on the carry, trying to wiggle through, and he's slammed to the ground by that defensive front of Thomas Jefferson. A number of players in on that tackle, including Kruger. We've talked about Peyton. He's a force up there.
Mike, a guy that did not make the tackle was 32, Matt Martins. He's the one that forced it inside, though. He really did his job and forced it into his teammates. That's an excellent job.
3rd and about 6.
So third down here for Millville. Zamat. Throw is high, but it's reeled in. Teron Hale has room to run. Teron Hale's at the 30, the 20, the 10. See ya, Teron Hale. First touchdown of the season for the Millville Thunderbolts.
Looks like 73 yards, Mike.
We have a flag in the end zone, probably for some celebration issues. And first touchdown pass of the season for Zamat. I believe first touchdown of the career. I know he played sparingly last year. Don't know if he maybe had a touchdown throw in at the end of a game perhaps, but certainly the first one as a true starter this season. Yeah. He hit Hale. He stepped up through some pressure there, Mark. He hit Hale, confident throw, and Teron Hale showing off that Division I speed. So now Millville to try for the point after. Kick is up, and the kick is good. And kicker for Millville, I believe, number 9 there, Jaden Reynes, a senior. He boots it through, and with that, Millville takes the lead with 12 seconds to go in the first, 7-3 over Thomas Jefferson. Winning teams know that the key to success is getting the job done right the first time. For over 100 years, Calvi Electric has applied that philosophy to their business to offer an unparalleled level of electrical expertise and service to every single customer. Now you can bring Calvi's expertise into your home for your electrical problems or improvements, and they can install solar panels that will save you money. Make Calvi Electric a part of your winning team. Call 609-345-0151 or visit CalviElectric.com. If you're planning to build a home, make your first step a visit to Halliday Leonard. Halliday Leonard will consult you on your design and assist the development of your custom home. They build single homes that will fit most any budget, plus condominiums, townhouses, and commercial buildings. Get your ideas together. Take them to Halliday Leonard, 700 Haven Avenue in Ocean City, or call them at 609-398-5737. Halliday Leonard will help make your dream home a reality. So Hale, Mark, just 2 touchdowns last year, already a big one this season, and he's a guy that I know Bert Ayala is excited about in that leadership junior role this year.
Yeah, he's got good size at 6'1", 180. The other thing, Mike, on that play, there were a couple receivers in that area from Millville. I don't know if it was a messed up pattern, but it still worked for Millville's area, but there were a couple in that same area.
A lot of confidence on that throw, as we talked about. The pocket was closing around Zamat. He climbed it just a little bit and put it right on the money. Hale reels it in, and the rest is history. Kick is fielded right past the 30-yard line here. And wiggling up the middle for about 10 yards or so. That time was number 11, Sean Sullivan. And with 6 seconds to go here in the first, it'll be Jaguars football trailing for the first time today.
That's Sear Cornish, number 8, on the special teams. Millville's. For such a short kick, Millville did a really good job on the coverage there.
Looks like Brooks having an issue with his helmet, so he's on the sideline right now as the assistant coaches try to get that corrected.
Let's go, defense!
Arguably the best player on the field, can't be on the field right now, at least for this play.
I don't see Mayer on the field either for Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, he was shaken up, of course. Lippincott right up the middle and keeps the legs moving for a gain of 3. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. So after 1, Millville on top of Thomas Jefferson by a score of 7-3.
The team set. Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort. Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
No one out-cheeses, out-meats, out-supremes, out-crusts, or outstuffs the Hut. Because when it comes to making your favorites, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
When it comes to taking care of your physical wellness, maintaining good health of your bones and muscles, you want a team of doctors you can trust and who hold themselves to the highest standards. At Premier Orthopedic Associates, we believe that you should live life at your best. Our team of non-operative and operative orthopedic specialists strive for the highest standards, exceptional outcomes, and happiest patients. Come and experience the Premier difference.
Mike Frankel, Mark Narducci back with you to begin the second quarter here at Carey Stadium in Ocean City. Millville on top of Thomas Jefferson by a score of 7-3 after one.
By the way, Mike, 33 back in the game at tight end for Thomas Jefferson Mayer.
Good to see Mayer back out there. Second and long here. Going up top, over the middle, Mayer right on cue, and he took a shot again, Mark. Unable to make the catch. Great defensive work. Massey Kent, one of the players in on that hit. And it was a tight window there. It was a good throw, but just better coverage, I should say, for Millville.
I'll tell you one thing, Evans is not afraid to throw the ball in a tight area. That time, great defense by Millville, but I still think that Thomas Jefferson's going to work that middle. Millville better coverage that time. Mayer was open by a lot a couple previous times.
2 on the box, but if I'm not mistaken, the Jaguars ran a play. Now we have 3 on the box. They've got it corrected. So third down. Out of the gun once more. Throwing. Lippincott has to make a man miss. Unable to do so. And making the tackle out there. I believe that was Wallace Jr. in on the stop.
It was Jamal Wallace Jr. had a great tackle. I'm telling you, if I'm Thomas Jefferson, I go for it here.
Ball right past midfield. 4th and 1. The Millville 48.
The other thing is, I think that's the first time we've seen Lippincott as a receiver out of the backfield. I think that's something we could see more of here. And I think he's going to get the ball right here, too.
Power I formation. Evans under center. He's just going to plow forward, but first we have a false start, and this may change the plans of the Jaguars as they'll back up 5 yards, set up 4th and 6.
Against the Jaguars, and he's been back 5 yards, 4th and 6.
And it does. So the punting unit is coming out. The Millville defense holds, and it looks like the Bolts will get the ball right back. Sharp hustles out to receive this punt. He let the last one soar over his head. I mean, it was a good 10 yards past him, but he's setting up this time relatively deep. Punt is off. Sharp may have a chance off the bounce. He's going to leave it alone. No, he's going to grab it. Tackled immediately, or almost tackled. Now he's running backwards. A little bit of disaster for Millville there. They'll give him the forward progress out past the 11, but that could have been dangerous for the Bolts.
Yeah, Bryce Howler, 23, got the first hit and held him up, and then his teammates helped along. Graham has an unusual punting style. He takes several steps before making that punt. Now he saw that he had some room there, but certainly taking his time getting those punts off.
Yeah, as we talked about, very deliberate. I mean, he knows the pressure's there, even though sometimes it's coming from, I guess what you would call his blind side. But you're right, he knows how to get those punts off. He's done it so far here today. So here we go, Zamat back in the gun. Draw play, and Wallace Jr. is going nowhere. Tackle made behind the line of scrimmage that time. A few players in on it, including Peyton Kruger.
Yeah, also Jordan Mayer. Jordan Mayer is just so quick.
Mayer's taken a beating, if you will, early. He was a little hobbled, if you will. Came back in, then took a shot, but tough kid right back out there on defense. Zamat, quick throw over to the right side. In some space here, still on his feet. Dancing forward is Brooks. He's just elusive, tough to bring down. And doesn't quite get to the sticks, but it'll set up a manageable third down play here for Millville.
See, that's a great play because of the pass rush. You're not giving them much time to do it, those quick hitters, and let the athletes take it from there.
So 3rd and 3 here. Zamat again, stepping to the line, now backing up in the gun. Some near motion up top. Whistles are silent for now. Millville may be changing the play here.
Thomas Jefferson showing blitz. We'll see if they Nope, they got out of it.
Throw to the near sideline, and here we go again. Hale on the move. Teron Hale taken down by the turf. And that's frustrating for Teron, but still a gain of about 15 or so on the play. Might have been 6 again, if not for losing his footing there.
Here's what's going to happen. Thomas Jefferson's going to have to play up more on that, and then that's going to open up the deep ball for Millville. So it's almost like pick your poison, but you can't let those skill players just catch it and have open area.
Zamat in the gun, this time rolling to his right, floating a pass, and that one falls incomplete. You're right, Mark. I mean, no doubt the Jaguars play a tough schedule in Pennsylvania, but I'd venture to say they're not going to face a team with a combination of receivers as dangerous as Brooks and Hale all season long. I mean, these are two kids that are going to play Power 5 football in a couple years.
By the way, Zamat got clobbered that time by 30, John Jajusek. Just as he threw the ball, showed some real toughness in there. That was a big hit.
2nd and long, and this one will be stopped before it starts. False start.
False start.
Is the infraction against Millville here. Just over 9 minutes to go in the second. Bolts up 7-3. They trailed 3-0 early before Zamat hit Hale for about a 75-yard touchdown play. So 2nd and 15 here. Zamat continuing to operate out of the gun. Quick throw to his right. Has Brooks out there. Latzir Brooks. And hanging on for dear life, and now breaking free. What a move from Brooks. Latzir Brooks to the house. The Jaguars had him by the leg, Mark. He's able to shake free, and after that, it's see you later.
It's like 69 yards, Mike, and we said it. They cannot give Millville those quick hitters like that. You're going to have to play up on those guys. I know you might have to give up something deep, but if you get Brooks or Hale in space, it's real trouble to defend.
I'll tell you what, that looked like the Jaguars had it contained. I mean, you had him by the leg there. I think it was Sullivan that had him wrapped up, but just goes to show how strong, even as a sophomore, that Brooks is. He's able to break free, and then once he's into the open field, you can forget about it. He's one of the fastest players in the state. So with the extra point, 14-3 is the score with 8:49 to go here in the second. Gillian's Wonderland Pier, 6th Street and the Boardwalk in Ocean City is a popular summer destination. Gillian's will be open until 10 this weekend and through Labor Day weekend, and they will give you a chance to enjoy their amusement rides every weekend in September. The summer continues through September at Gillian's Wonderland Pier, 6th and the Boardwalk in Ocean City. Visit them online at Gillians.com. Sure True Value Hardware in Summers Point hopes that you will continue to shop locally. They offer friendly service and expert advice. At Sure Hardware, they'll do anything to help. They are open weekdays until 7, Saturdays until 6, and Sundays until 4. Help is just around the corner at Sure True Value Hardware, 515 New Road in Summers Point. Call them at 609-927-6464 or visit them online at SureHardware.com. So the two major weapons on the outside for Millville, both with touchdown catches, long, explosive plays, and this is a glimpse of what this Millville offense could look like this year.
Yeah, 73 yards by Hale, 69 by Brooks. I think this is why I put them number 1 in South Jersey in my preseason report, South Jersey preseason report. Millville number 1 in our Super 6.
You know, it's wild. A team that loses a player the caliber of LaQuinn Allen, and then you lose your starting quarterback in Nate Robbins, you would assume a team like that might take a step backward, but so many returning players on this team. And with Zamat stepping in at quarterback, so far the Bolts haven't missed a beat as this kick sails into the end zone. So it'll be Jaguars with another chance to operate here.
Millville's done a really good job of stopping this ground game. You expect that Thomas Jefferson will try to get something going here. Even though down 14-3, it's no time to just go all throwing ball.
It will be Evans out of the gun to start this series. Hand off to Lippincott, and some room here. Maybe the most room he's found all day. A good gainer on first down as he rushes for about 6. It'll set up 2nd and 4.
6 on the play.
Pretty good tackle by Joey Zamont, the sophomore, brother of the QB.
Of course, their older brother Josh Zamont, playing quarterback at Stony Brook University.
You saw Josh a lot in South Jersey?
Did, yeah. He played for St. Augustine and then Holy Spirit. A nice high school career. So here's Evans out of the gun again. Lippincott takes it, dragging players forward for a first down. He just keeps those legs moving, Mark, and he has first down yardage on the 2nd down run.
Handoff again to Lippincott.
I think they're going to have to ride Lippincott. I mean, you have Lippincott.
That's good for Jaguar.
They're going to the left side where Kruger's an outstanding blocker. I think you're going to have to ride him quite a bit. And I, like I said before, they threw him the one pass out of the backfield. I think he could be a real threat that way as well.
So a first down here for Thomas Jefferson. 7:30 to go now in the half. Millville on top 14-3. Brooks is out, by the way, jogging on the sideline a bit, maybe getting a little bit of a breather as Lippincott breaks loose for a couple of yards there. Again, a good push on that offensive line for Thomas Jefferson, opening a hole. Lippincott explodes through it, and a nice pickup again, a gain of 7 that time on the first down run.
2nd and 3.
So it's ground and pound here on this drive so far. You're right, Mark. I mean, Lippincott has been effective so far, and they're riding him on this drive.
Yeah, he rushed for 854 yards and 12 touchdowns a year ago, averaged 5.7 a carry, so he's obviously proven what he can do.
Some movement up front, pre-snap here, and it'll be a false start going against the Jaguars. We'll back them up 5.
5 yards.
So really negates that great run on first down.
It's funny, even though the left side's the short side of the field right now, that's where they keep going.
Another nice crowd on hand here in Ocean City today. Good crowds throughout the weekend. Great weather as well. It's been warm. It's August at the shore, but not scorching. We had a couple real hot days last year for this event. And of course, the Sunday slate had to be moved, some of those games, to Camden Catholic because of torrential downpours overnight last year on Saturday. But throw goes to the left side, and making the catch and staying on his feet that time is Sullivan. So Sullivan, we talked about it, the leading receiver, the leading returning player in receiving yards, 547, 6 TDs a year ago, and a big first down play there.
You know, Mike, that's a deep out that he had to throw. That's a good arm, strong arm by the sophomore Evans. That's the throw where you really tell about the arm strength of a quarterback, deep out patterns.
Good pitch and catch there. Evans to Sullivan. And the Jaguars are across midfield now. In fact, at the Millville 44. 6 minutes to go here in the second. Handoff, Lippincott. He's the featured back, no doubt. Again, not easily brought to the ground, but that time Millville is able to rally to the football there. Just a gain of about a half a yard.
Cornish, number 8, one of the guys in on that tackle.
Play. 2nd and 10.
Have they run to the right side yet?
Not that I've recalled here, Mark. You're right. They love to run to their own sideline there. Millville player hustling off here, Kashawn Jones. A little bit shaken up on that play as he takes a blow on the sideline.
Jones has had a couple of big plays, one on special teams.
So 2nd and 10 here. And a little bit, maybe a read option there or a delay. Either way, it goes nowhere. Millville bottles that up in the backfield. Cornish leading the charge there.
Second straight big play by number 8.
Walter, 4 on the play.
I agree with you, Mike. I don't think that play was sharp. Too much indecisiveness.
Yeah, if that is a read option, you're right. I mean, decision has to be made a little quicker.
Now Lippincott and Mayer both out of the game.
It'll be number 6, Jason Solomon, flanking Evans. In fact, the pass goes to him, and it's high. If he did catch it, would have been a big collision over there. And it brings up 4th and long.
That was just a tough play because they're trying to set up a screen on the short side of the field. But a screen, you've got to give it a little bit of time to develop. Evans threw that ball way too soon. I don't think it would have mattered. I think Millville had it snuffed out anyway.
So about half of the first quarter or so, most of the first quarter, this game really in favor of the Jaguars, as it looks like the Bolts have jumped offside here. It'll still be 4th and long, but really it started with the long touchdown pass, obviously, and the touchdown by Hale, and it's really been all Millville since.
4th and 8.
Looks like the Jags will still punt the football here. Again, it's Graham, punting formation. Again, taking his time, rolling to his right a little bit. And just a big kick, though. Fair catch called for and made inside the 5. So it's been a little bit of an adventure in the return game for Millville. I'm sure that's one that Ayala would love to see just bounce into the end zone, but Millville will start on their own 2-yard line.
I think one of the keys, Mike, is going to be whether Thomas Jefferson starts playing up on these receivers, because these short passes, they're taking them for big gainers. In Brooks's case, a touchdown.
So we'll see what the Jaguars defense can do here. Obviously, if you can get something going in the way of a safety, it'd be nice, but you got to be careful about a play over the top with all this real estate for Millville to work with. Millville will keep it tight for now, maybe trying to just get some room there. They do keep it on the ground. Just a run up the middle here. Pile being pushed to the side, and give him a little more breathing room. Tough to see who actually had that carry, but it was a gain of 2, and it looks like it was Wallace Jr.
Handoff goes over 15, Jamal Wallace Jr.
So a little more breathing room for Millville here. Under 4 to go in the first quarter. So again, plenty of time, but a lot of field in front of the Thunderbolts. Again, a bunch formation, nice and tight in there for the Bolts.
Kind of formation where your quarterback could maybe roll out to the left and
keep it on the ground again. And again, not much there. Maybe just back to the line of scrimmage that time as Millville elects to keep it on the ground. And now they'll bring in both Brooks and Hale, who weren't on the field for that package, but now facing 3rd and 7. The two speedsters check back in. That was Demir White on the carry, by the way. 5'6", 155-pound sophomore, one of those rotating backs for Millville this year.
do you blitz here if you're Thomas Jefferson?
I think you're playing with
Egerton, the linebacker, number 5. We'll see what he does on this. He's looking like he might.
Could be playing with fire there. We'll see how they play it. One-on-one on the outside, near side here with Hale. Zamat looking the other way, going over the top to Brooks. He's got him, and Brooks is gone, Mark. Brooks is absolutely gone. Who's going to catch Wadzir Brooks this season? I don't know if anyone will. Another long touchdown. That's about 90 yards. And Wadzir Brooks, he put on a show at the Battle at the Beach last year. He loves this setting. Kid loves being by the beach. Another big score.
Mike, what did we say? They played up on the receivers. You take away the short one. Pick your poison. I don't envy Thomas Jefferson having to defend like that. They did play up, easily got by.
And gives Ahmad a ton of credit. That's a deep throw, and Jacob put that right on the money. I mean, that's a throw where it's tough to overthrow a guy like Brooks, but you can certainly get too excited when you see him out there. But he put it right on the money. Brooks catches it in stride, and again, there are very few players anywhere on a football field in New Jersey that can catch Wadzir Brooks.
Yeah, I had it unofficially for 94 yards on that.
I think you're right. They started at the 2. They didn't get much on the 2 first down plays. Yeah, I said 90, but you're right. It was closer to 95. And 21-3 is the score. Shoppy's is even better online. You may know their showroom at 1031 Shore Road in Linwood, but you can order whatever you need at Shoppy.com. Remember, you're not presenting the best trophy if it's not a Shoppy trophy. Call them at 609-653-1684. Shoppy's, since 1921, starting a new century. Winning teams know that the key to success is getting the job done right the first time. For over 100 years, Calvi Electric has applied that philosophy to their business to offer an unparalleled level of electrical expertise and service to every single customer. Now you can bring Calvi's expertise into your home for your electrical problems or improvements, and they can install solar panels that will save you money. Make Calvi Electric a part of your winning team. Call 609-345-0151 or visit calvielectric.com.
Mike, unofficially, Zamat, just on his 3 touchdown completions, 236 yards.
Not a bad debut for the junior.
Greatest on the kick.
Again, receiving some Division I attention. He's got the size, and you can see he's got the arm. Kickoff there by Reynes, who's 3 for 3 on extra points, by the way. Taking up the near sideline, cutting it back, and a nice return here for Thomas Jefferson. That's Sullivan once again, and he puts the Jaguars right out near midfield. And it's maybe the spark that the Jags are looking for here with 2:22 to go in the half.
You know, I think Millville was almost expecting Sullivan to just go out of bounds and run out of bounds, and he kept like tight roping the sideline and got some extra yards. Great return.
So with not a lot of time left in the half, as I just mentioned, I mean, this starting field position, it's, better chance of getting points here. And to try to stem the tide, try to move the momentum a little bit in favor of the Jaguars here as they'll head into the locker rooms. TJ breaks the huddle. Again, Lippincott in the backfield. He'll be to the right of Evans, who's out of the gun. Motion right to left. That's Lowry in motion. Draw play, and just nothing there. Millville all over that one. Jamal Wallace and company in on the tackle, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, again, as we said, there's so much talk about Millville's speed on offense, but look at it defensively. Thomas Jefferson just has not been able to consistently run the ball outside, and Millville has more than hung its own on the inside plays as well.
So, of course, the clock is running after that first down play, and now we're under 1:45 in the half. Evans right back in the gun. Same motion, right to left. They go to Lowry this time, and that tackle is made immediately by Millville. Teron Hale coming up and delivering that hit. Tackle for loss. We talked about it. Hale, he did play both ways last year, but not always on D. But he's going to be a factor, certainly. Most snaps on both sides of the ball this season.
Yeah, one other thing, though. The Jaguars not doing a very good job of disguising the screens. They're throwing them too quickly, but it really hasn't mattered because Millville's been right on it as well.
So now at this point, with 3rd and long, the Jaguars are content to let this clock just sort of run. No particular hurry. Let's see what they dial up here if they want to take a shot.
And Millville may want to use a timeout if they get a stop.
45 and ticking. Evans in the gun, looking left, floats a pass out that way, and that's high and wide. Looking for Sullivan. That will stop the clock, and it'll bring up a punting situation for Thomas Jefferson with 37 seconds to go in the half. So we'll see if the Bolts bring some pressure here. Again, Graham's pretty effective at getting those punts off no matter what the situation is. But you would think this would be a scenario where the Bolts would bring the house, try to get a block with not a lot of time left. Here they come, and the punt this time is a spinner. It's short, and it sort of bounces right up in the air at the 45-yard line. So Millville's going to have a chance here, Mark. 29 seconds on the clock. The Bolts have those timeouts, and they have pretty good field position near midfield.
Tahir Brown, number 4 for Millville, put on some pressure from the outside. He may have made Graham kick it a little sooner than he wanted.
Yeah, really the first miscue from Graham all day. He's been obviously solid in the kicking game with the field goal and in the punting game, but that time, not a big net. So we're going to have a timeout before we begin this drive here. A chance to remind you that if you're planning to build a home, make your first step a visit to Halliday Leonard. Halliday Leonard will consult you on your design and assist the development of your custom home. They build single homes that will fit most any budget, plus condominiums, townhouses, and commercial buildings. Get your ideas together and take them to Halliday Leonard, 700 Haven Avenue in Ocean City, or call them at 609-398-5737. Halliday Leonard will help make your dream home a reality.
Pizza, chicken sandwiches.
So again, 29 seconds. Millville just taking control of this game with one explosive play after another. The Bolts trailed 3-0 early. A long touchdown pass to Hale, 2 long touchdown passes to Brooks, and it's 21-3, and the Bolts with a chance for more before halftime.
Yeah, somebody told me that Brooks actually looks at himself more the next level as a defensive player. And of course, he could be a great corner as well.
I think college coaches are looking at him and just hoping to get him on campus, and then they'll figure it out from there.
Play whatever you want, son.
So here's Zamat out of the gun. Millville drive will start at the 45-yard line. Zamat rolling right. A little bit of pressure out there. Meyer. Zamat throws it away. Didn't hear a whistle. Now we say incomplete pass. And again, just have to remind our viewers of a rule change in high school this year. It's more similar to NFL or college rules where in the past, high school quarterbacks really couldn't throw the ball away. I mean, you still have to get it near a receiver or back close to the line of scrimmage, but that time they're going to say because there was contact, it's not intentional grounding. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
The one answer Millville's offense hasn't had is for Mayer. He's
Cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru. Proudly serving our community since 1982.
We're here at the brand new RK Service Center. We've got to be super excited about all the things that are going on here at RK.
We are. We're super excited. We've been waiting this for a long time. We're very proud of this facility. We are hiring new technicians, so we're offering a $1,500 sign-on bonus. You can check with our managers in terms of the details on that. But along with that, we offer healthcare, dental, eye, 401k with a match, and on it goes.
No better place to look than right here at RK Auto Group.
RKAutogroup.com, but individually for each manufacturer would be myrkchevy.com, myrkkia.com, and myrksubaru.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Trina Lisko, a provider here at Premier Orthopedic Associates. I love that we get to watch these athletes play again. There is nothing better than being able to participate in an activity that you love. However, I know that COVID has us all a little less active than we would like, especially if weather conditions don't allow us to get outside and we've been restricted from the gym. Now is the time to consider some cross training, which are my favorite. Do timed interval repetitions with a little rest in between to help keep your heart rate up and activate your cardiovascular system. We can all stay healthy and active during this time. Remember to start slow and work technique before progressing to higher repetitions. Slow and steady will do the job.
No one out-cheeses, out-meats, out-supremes, out-crusts, or outstuffs the Hut. Because when it comes to making your favorites, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
When it comes to taking care of your physical wellness, maintaining good health of your bones and muscles, you want a team of doctors you can trust and who hold themselves to the highest standards. At Premier Orthopedic Associates, we believe that you should live life at your best. Our team of non-operative and operative orthopedic specialists strive for the highest standards, exceptional outcomes, and happiest patients. Come and experience the Premier difference.
We live in a community that cares. We make sure everyone eats, everyone plays, everyone stays warm, and everyone is protected. We support our youth in organizations that teach the value of community and self-worth. We make strides against breast cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru, proudly serving our community since 1982.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort. Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
At the beach, Mike Frankel, Mark Narducci on the call as the Millville Thunderbolts have a 21-3 lead over Thomas Jefferson of Pennsylvania. And for those of you just joining us, the Jaguars were up 3-0 in this game, Mark, but the Speedsters from Millville taking over after that. Jacob Zamat, 3 touchdown passes, all deep touchdown plays. 1 to Hale, 2 to Brooks, 21-3 at the half.
Yeah, Millville had a lot of success on the short passes, quick hitters. And then the last play, Thomas Jefferson played up on it, and Brooks went right by the defense. Again, I had mentioned that about they'd have to get up on him, but you have to pick your poison when you're playing against speed like this.
You're right. I said long touchdown plays, but, you know, the first 2 were yards after the catch scenarios. The third one was over the top. And Brooks we've talked about it in the first half, but just an elite player at the high school level. Still just a sophomore, had a tremendous freshman year, nearly 1,000 yards receiving, 15 touchdowns, was a big part of that Millville Regional Championship team a year ago. And
some of the D1 teams already in on them, Georgia, Pitt, Texas A&M, just got as we mentioned at the top of the show, an Oregon offer.
One of the most highly recruited players in the state on the field here today. And Millville will receive the second half kickoff. It's a deep kick, sails into the end zone. And Millville will have its offense on the field to start this third quarter with that 21-3 lead.
Here's the problem, Mike. Thomas Jefferson likes to ground and pound and establish things with the running game, and they're still going to have time to do that, but probably going to have to go to the air more than they would like.
Yeah, obviously still 24 minutes to go here, but with Millville having possession to begin this third, if you're Thomas Jefferson, you're obviously looking for a stop here and trying to get some more points on the board to make this a ball game. A long trip to Ocean City for the Jaguars, and they don't want that.
Millville hasn't done consistently is run the ball, and that was the question coming in about this young backfield.
Zamat pitches to his right this time. White breaks a tackle, still on his feet, able to churn out some positive yardage there. Again, that's Jamal Wallace Jr., I beg your pardon, and picks up a good gain on first down, and it could have been a loss, but he picks up a few positive yards.
Yeah, Matt Martin's 32 was right in there on play, just missed the tackle. And we have a flag, Mike.
Little laundry on the field. Weren't a ton of penalties in that first half. See what we have here. Face mask is the call, and it goes against Millville. So that'll back the Bolts up. So Millville a little sloppy to begin this third quarter here with the face mask penalty. Moving backwards for the moment. Little set up, excuse me. About 1st and 20 here. So a hole to dig out of here to begin the second half for Millville. Zamat still in the gun. Hands it off. Not much there that time for Wallace Jr. Gobbled up by that defensive line of Thomas Jefferson. Cam Egerton, one of the players in on that stop.
Well, we saw Martin's 32 also coming in. Again, did not give any of his ground on the outside. Made a nice play.
2nd and long.
So 2nd and 20 now. Zamat takes the snap, shotgun snap under pressure, moving to his right. Zamat throws it down the field, and that pass is out of bounds. That was Jordan Mayer bringing the heat from the blind side, nearly got there.
You know, he actually had Kashawn Jones open on that play, but very hard with Mayer in his face like that.
He was running for his life on that play, and there was a receiver in the area, but I think at that point, you really had Zamat just throwing that football away. So what do you dial up here? 3rd and 20.
I'd bring them in. I'd blitz them. I'd put some pressure on. Make them try to get rid of this early.
Zamat, that ball is tipped to the line of scrimmage. Dangerous. Diving attempt made by Mayer. But a good 3-and-out defensive stop here from the Jaguars. That is exactly what Thomas Jefferson needed to begin this second half.
How about Mayer? He's just been all over the place. Well, that's what a Division I player looks like, right? That's what
we said. He's got that Big Ten build. He's 6'5". They list him at 230. And obviously he's going to be a Badger in the near future. Badgering offenses in the Big Ten.
A lot of South Jersey players have done pretty well at Wisconsin, including the ex-Heisman Trophy winner Ron Dane from Overbrook, Corey Clement, Super Bowl champ.
Jonathan Taylor, #1 draft pick in all of your fantasy drafts out there this year.
Yep.
Salem product. And that's a short punt. It'll be down right at the 43-yard line. So a short field coming up here for the Jaguars. Let's see if Thomas Jefferson can take advantage. Winning teams know that the key to success is getting the job done right the first time. For over 100 years, Calvi Electric has applied that philosophy to their business to offer an unparalleled level of electrical expertise and service to every single customer. Now you can bring Calvi's expertise into your home for your electrical problems or improvements. And they can install solar panels that will save you money. Make Calvi Electric a part of your winning team. Call them at 609-345-0151 or visit calvielectric.com. So the Jaguars eager to put more points on the board here, try to make this a ball game. Again, they led 3-0 early, now trailing 21-3. Still plenty of time. Evans looking to throw, has a man, and a diving catch is made. A sensational grab by Lowry. Ryan Lowry with a tremendous catch. We had his name on the call a few times as he pops up, maybe cramping a bit after that. But outstretched arms there, Mark, and a tremendous first down catch.
It was a great catch. If he could hit him in stride, he may have scored.
You're right about that.
But again, easier said than done with Evans facing a pretty good pass rush there. But
so just like that, the ball is now at the 20.
I'll tell you, Lowry, Sullivan, they have a couple of real sure-handed receivers here.
Power I formation this time.
They're going to run left here.
Looks like that's Bryce Heller in the backfield now. Now check that. It's Lippincott. Puts a shoulder down. Runs over a Millville defender for a gain of about 5 on the play. Lippincott is tough.
Gain of 5.
the formation was all set to that side, so you thought they were going to do that. Now, again, this is probably the best thing from Thomas Jefferson's standpoint, where they just don't have to come out and throw every down.
Yeah, really a lot of options open right now for Thomas Jefferson with the short field and the big conversion there to start this drive. You'd think with the deficit as what it is, it'd be 4-down territory the rest of the way here. Pitch right. Lippincott sticks his foot in the ground again, bowls over a Millville defender or two before the Bolts rally to the football and finally bring him down. He's just one of those guys, it's cliche, Mark, but it just takes more than one player to bring him down. He's not going to go down with one player trying to bring him to the ground.
Mayer did a nice job from the tight end spot, clearing a little way, but again, Millville's so quick defensively, they closed in on that very quickly.
So 3rd down here. Again, you wonder if this is 4-down territory, I guess.
It definitely is. There's no question about it. That's why I think they're going to keep it on the ground.
It's a decision that Bill Chirpick doesn't want to have to make. Hoping his team picks it up here, but some movement on the right side of that line. And that'll back the Jaguars up 5. So mental mistake there could prove costly.
Now this changes everything.
So now it sets up a 3rd and long after the 5-yard penalty. I formation again. Evans under center. Motion left to right. Evans looking out to his left, and he is sacked. Millville gets through the line and sacks him. Solomon Massey Kent. He's been a force out there today.
Massey Kent, 6'1", 205. And again, another one of these Millville linebackers that runs like a receiver.
And now 4th and 12 all of a sudden. It was 3rd and short, then 3rd and long, now 4th and very long. And the offense stays on the field here for Thomas Jefferson. So a key play here. TJ needs about 12 yards for a 1st down. Throwing, lofting a pass, has a man, it's a touchdown. Sean Sullivan reels in the pass from Brody Evans, and on 4th and long, Thomas Jefferson is right back in the ball game. That pass, Mark, right on the money from Evans. Tremendous touch on that, just left it right out there for Sullivan to run under, and it's 6 points on the board for the Jaguars.
What a gutty call that time. It wasn't like they were just going for the 1st down. They were going for everything. And we said there have been a few missed passes. That couldn't have been a more perfectly laid pass.
Graham on to attempt the extra point. Snap down, kick is up. And good. So Graham boots it through, and we have a ball game again, 21-10. Jaguars inching closer here in the 3rd. If you're planning to build a home, make your first step a visit to Halliday Leonard. Halliday Leonard will consult you on your design and assist the development of your custom home. They build single homes that will fit most any budget, plus condominiums, townhouses, and commercial buildings. Get your ideas together. Take them to Halliday Leonard, 700 Haven Avenue in Ocean City, or phone them at 609-398-5737. Halliday Leonard will help make your dream home a reality. Gillian's Wonderland Pier, 6th Street and the Boardwalk in Ocean City, of course, is a popular summer destination. Gillian open until 10 this weekend and through Labor Day weekend. And they will give you a chance to enjoy their amusement rides every weekend in September. The summer continues through September at Gillian's Wonderland Pier, 6th and the Boardwalk in Ocean City. Visit them online at gillians.com.
How about Evans' first touchdown pass? Couldn't have placed it better, and it was decent coverage by Millville as well.
Jaguars go over the top there. Sullivan, again, 6 touchdowns a year ago. He's got the touchdown here in the third to get his team back in the game. 7:07 remaining, still a ton of time in this one. Kick is away, but we have a whistle here. And a flag on the field. This will be an infraction against the Jaguars. Back up the kickoff here, legal procedure.
Just what they don't need, giving these explosive Millville players an extra 5 yards.
Yeah, it's interesting. Graham obviously has a tremendous foot. And, you know, there's really not much you can do on kickoffs. Obviously, you can't kick it out of bounds. You don't want the penalty. But the alternatives, especially in a situation like this, is to kick it to a very dangerous player in Latsier Brooks. So we'll see. You know, a lot of teams, especially against Millville, go with a little pooch kick, something, you know, that lands around the 35-yard line or so.
You know what the problem is on Millville? Their upmen have the ability to take it to the house.
You're right. And again, this is a driving kick, and well done there as Graham sort of drives it low, end over end, puts it between the two players. And we were asking how you do it. That's how you do it. Tremendous kick by Graham. So Millville will bring its offense back out onto the field. Again, 7:07 to go here in the third. Game 1 of 3 today. Holy Spirit versus Cherokee coming up at 2 o'clock. And then at 5 o'clock, it'll be Cedar Creek against Edison to wrap up the second annual Battle at the Beach. It's been a fun weekend so far. Not a ton of competitive games. Mark, you and I had a great one yesterday. Washington Township, Toms River North. Probably the game of the weekend so far.
Yeah, North winning 28-21. 2 South Group 5 schools. I think, as we said in the telecast, Mike, those two may be meeting again in the postseason.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Freddie Levan, 14 into the game right now. He's a newcomer to this Millville program.
And we have a whistle here. Looks like a false start against the Bolts. Back them up 5.
5-yard penalty. First and 15.
Yeah, another marquee game yesterday, of course, was St. Peter's Prep against St. Augustine. Very one-sided, very impressive Marauders team making the trip down. 41-7 over the Hermits.
St. Peter's Prep looked like a college team.
They have a number of players that will be playing on Saturdays very soon. Saturdays at the college level, of course. Zamad, again, running for his life. Has to throw that one away. And again, the rules are different this year. In the olden days, or even last year, that's probably a flag and a safety. But for now, it's just an incomplete pass.
Boy, great pressure by Janusek that time. Thomas Jefferson took away Millville's first read. Then Zamot looking for the second. Nobody open. They've tightened the coverage here. Sullivan on Brooks on the outside. And obviously, he's going to get some safety help as well.
Some good adjustments at halftime so far from Bill Chirpick and the Thomas Jefferson coaching staff. Zamot has time over the middle. That's a dangerous pass, nearly intercepted by Lowry, who dove for it. Intended receiver that time was Freddie Levan III. And Lowry's a little bit shaken up. He really sold out to try and make that interception mark. He hit the turf hard. Trainers coming over from the Jaguars sideline now.
You're hoping it's just a cramp because that's...
Yeah, it looks like that's what they're working on again. We saw a number of cramps yesterday. Again, early in the season. Hot conditions here in Ocean City. And we'll hope that Lowry can pop up in a moment here. For now, Shore True Value Hardware in Summers Point hopes that you will continue to shop locally. They offer friendly service and expert advice. At Shore Hardware, they'll do anything to help. They're open weekdays until 7, Saturdays until 6, Sundays until 4. Help is just around the corner at Shore True Value Hardware, 515 New Road in Summers Point. Call them at 609-927-6464 or visit them online at shorehardware.com. Johnson's Popcorn is known all over the Delaware Valley, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. They're open all year, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Call them at 1-800-842-2676 or go online at johnsonspopcorn.com to place your order. Johnson's Popcorn since 1940. So Ryan back to his feet there and jogging to his own sideline. Still seems to be a little bit of an issue there, and hopefully he can take care of that on the sideline. But we'll get back to the live action. 3rd and long here, so the Jaguars on the brink of another big stop in this third quarter. Zamot Under pressure immediately. Screen set up. This could be big for Millville. The Bolts with first down yardage and more. Still on the move. Millville on the move across midfield. Still on his feet here. Thomas Smith III still on his feet. Smith III all the way into the end zone. And I'll tell you what, Mark, based on the pressure that the Jaguars brought, that was the perfect call for the Millville offense as the Bolts celebrate on the track and field equipment down there in the corner of the end zone. How about that? Thomas Smith III, the senior, he's not a guy who we call his name a lot, but he made the most of that play.
He really did, and if you notice toward the end of that play, he got a great block by Brooks. Yeah, we talk about Brooks being this great receiver, but helping out his teammate. Wow, again, he made a cutback at about the 35 that just left Thomas Jefferson in its tracks. Had that for about 84 yards, Mike.
Smith down on the sideline now. It looks like he's cramping. Makes sense given the amount of yards he just ripped off. And the kick is up and good once again by Reynes. 4 for 4 on extra points today. And right back to an 18-point game. Millville on top, 28-10. Shoppy's is even better online. You may know their showroom at 1031 Shore Road in Linwood, but you can order whatever you need at Shoppy.com. Remember, you are not presenting the best trophy if it's not a Shoppy trophy. Call them at 609-653-1684. Shoppy's since 1921. Now starting a new century. Winning teams know that the key to success is getting the job done right the first time. For over 100 years, Calvi Electric has applied that philosophy to their business to offer an unparalleled level of electrical expertise and service to every single customer. Now you can bring Calvi's expertise into your home for your electrical problems or improvements, and they can install solar panels that will save you money. Make Calvi Electric a part of your winning team. Call them at 609-345-0151 or visit calvielectric.com. It's a contrast, really, Mark. It feels like the Jaguars have to work so hard for everything they get, and Millville can basically just hit you with an explosive play, every 10 plays or so, and now have a 28-10 lead.
Well, Mike, Jacob Zamot has 4 touchdown passes. Just those 4 completions have gone for 320 yards.
Quite a debut for the junior.
He was a backup last year. He only threw 14 passes all season.
Yeah, we had mentioned, I wasn't sure if that was his first touchdown. I don't believe he had a touchdown toss last year. He did play sparingly, as we've talked about, but certainly didn't start. And so this is the first real game action for Zamot, and he's delivered. And if you remember it, first couple series, says, look at this. And it looks like the Jaguars do get back on top of it. First couple series did not go well for Zamot. A couple 3-and-outs, but after that, he's been dominant.
That's a good thing Sullivan just made a diving leap for that ball.
Yeah, it almost seemed like at first the Jaguars were playing that sort of like a punt, and it's not a punt, it's a kickoff. You got to get on that thing.
You're down 18, 6:35 in the third. Again, I just don't think they have the type of offense that can just go back and throw it every down.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's, midway through the third quarter now. I think, if you're Thomas Jefferson, you still stick to what you do well. At some point, though, you're right. I mean, you have to start putting the ball in the air a little bit more to try and get back in this game. Such a momentum swing. I mean, the Jaguars had to feel good after punching it in, and then Millville comes right back and hits you with another monster play. Lippincott trying to get to the edge here, and he won't get all the way out there. Millville strings that play out well. And it was Kashawn Jones, one of the players in on that stop.
Kashawn Jones has made so many big defensive plays. You're right, Mike. When you called that, they strung it out, and that's what Millville's speed. They're just beating it to the spot. Mayer had made a good block, giving him some room there.
Lippincott does pick up about 2.5 on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 7 now.
It's a lot of work for about 3 yards.
It is. It's that east-west run, and sometimes those can turn into big plays, but a lot of speed on the outside for Millville. Lippincott again deep in the backfield here, fullback in front of him. Evans under center. Evans looking to pass, looking for Lippincott, has to juggle it, does make the catch, and then tackled immediately there. Massey Kent again on the spot for Millville. And that'll be a loss, actually, Mark, of about 4 yards. So.
Second and 11.
Well, I had to get rid of it because Keon German, number 21, was coming in and rushing at full force.
Yeah,
one of the keys, excuse me, Mike, one of the keys has been the pressure that Millville's been able to get.
Yeah, no doubt. German, we mentioned him off the top. We haven't said his name a lot, but, you know, he's sort of running the show from that linebacker spot. And, you know, captain on the defense, one of the few returning players on D. So here we go, 3rd and long here. 4:43 to go in the 3rd. Quick pass to the right side, dangerous pass. It's caught, but not much of a gain. Pick up about 2 to 3 yards out there.
You know what it is? Hale's got such great confidence in his coverage ability and his speed. He's playing right up on these receivers. They're getting no separation when they go up against him.
Joe Mendick, the junior, makes that catch, but again, only a gain of about 2 or 3, so it'll set up a punting situation here for Thomas Jefferson.
Number 6, Naeem Sharp, back deep to return. And number 19, Andrew Graham on punt.
So Graham again gets this one away. A little more of a straightforward punt that time. This is Sharp on the return, and a nice one at that. He's still on his feet. Sharp puts the shoulder down. He's a tough kid, a little bit undersized, but he returns that one all the way inside the Thomas Jefferson 40. Sharp listed at 5'6", 155, but you can see the explosion in his step.
Got an initial good block by Massey Kent, and again, these Millville players don't need a whole lot.
Certainly do not. And now it's great field position for the Thunderbolts. And with 3:48 to go in the 3rd, we do have an injured player down on the far side of the field. And now he's to his feet. As looks like that was Bryce Heller over there. Good to see him pop up. But you just get the sense, Mark, it's getting to the point in this game where one more Millville score might just do it. 28-10 right now. And the Thunderbolts have really been in control from the mid-second quarter on. You know, trailing 3-0 early. Come back at the touchdown. They get another one. 21-3 at the half. Thomas Jefferson made it 21-10. And then Millville came right back with another big play, where we stand right now 28-10. Zaman in the gun with 2 players in the backfield. Sharp gets the call. And a good run on first down as Naeem Sharp picks up about 9.
And up goes Naeem Sharp. Picked up on play number 1, Ryan Lowry.
Maybe closer to 7. Still a lot of yards on first down. It'll set up 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3.
Same formation. This time they give it to the up man. And losing his footing that time was Xavier McBride, the sophomore. He was the fullback in that set. And he tumbled down close to first down yards. It'll set up 3rd and short. Sharp again. He's got first down yardage and more. Naeem Sharp loose along the left side. Still moving forward. Finally brought down close to the 15-yard line. And Naeem Sharp, you can see the burst.
Mike, I think that's the first time we may have seen 3 straight runs by Millville. And it's the one area we said that maybe they hadn't been dominating. And I think it's a good idea for them to work on it in this stage. And plus, obviously, you can shave off a lot of clock by running.
Timeout on the field here, taken by Millville. And they'll have a first down play with 2:38 to go here in the third quarter. Winning teams know that the key to success is getting the job done right the first time. For over 100 years, Calvi Electric has applied that philosophy to their business to offer an unparalleled level of electrical expertise and service to every single customer. Now you can bring Calvi's expertise into your home for your electrical problems or improvements, and they can install solar panels that will save you money. Make Calvi Electric a part of your winning team. Call 609-345-0151 or visit calvielectric.com. Yeah, Mark, that Millville offensive line today, I mean, giving Zamat the time when he throws and really opening up those holes on the ground game. A lot of weight, a lot of talent up there. Marcus Offer, Edison Andino, Kevin White in on that line as well. And, after maybe, you don't want to say getting bullied, but you got the sense the Jags were getting the better line play early in this game. Millville has taken over in the trenches.
There's no question about that.
Just sort of wearing down the Jaguars as the game goes on here up front. Near fumble here. Sharp is on the spot there. Zamat couldn't catch that snap cleanly. First miscue out of the gun we've seen all day, but Sharp was right there to pick it up, and Millville avoids a disastrous outcome there. Just sets up second and long. A loss of about 2 on the play.
I love Sharp's toughness. We know about his speed, his elusiveness. At 155, he shows a lot of toughness running the ball.
Zamat catches this snap cleanly. Hands off to Sharp. Makes a cut. Spins forward for about 4. We'll set up 2nd and 8 now. Check that 3rd and 8, after the loss on first down. So you're right, Mark. It's been run this drive to try to bleed this clock with the lead, but now possible passing situation here in the red zone. Now they keep it on the ground. And it's the up man once again. That's McBride.
One thing you're noticing, Thomas Jefferson is missing some initial tackles. It's fundamentals about tackling and everything like that. Millville's been able to get some extra yards after the first hits today.
Millville brings the field goal unit on. Jaden Reynes, why not? He's been so effective with the extra points. This is obviously a little bit further, but the senior Reynes will come on to attempt a field goal. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So Reynes bangs it through there, and Millville extends its lead. Now on top 31-10 with 57 seconds left to go here in the third. If you're planning to build a home, make your first step a visit to Halliday Leonard. Halliday Leonard will consult you on your design and assist the development of your custom home. They build single homes that fit most any budget, plus condominiums, townhouses, and commercial buildings. Get your ideas together. Take them to Halliday Leonard, 700 Haven Avenue in Ocean City, or phone them at 398-5737. Halliday Leonard will help make your home, your dream home, a reality. Just inside a 30-yard field goal, I believe there, Mark?
32.
Yeah,
32 yards.
So, he's got a nice foot, no doubt about it. And that's something you didn't always see from the Millville program. It's high school football. Even some of the best teams don't always have a great kicker, but obviously a lot of confidence in Jaden Reynes.
Hey, Mike, I wonder if the most famous of Millville alumnus, Mike Trout, is maybe checking in on this. He loves his high school. He's always up on what's going on.
Yeah, Trout early on in his pro career during the offseason, he'd been known to sort of sneak into the Millville press box. Didn't want to make a big scene about it, but he'd like to check out the games when he was home. Obviously in season right now, and a lot of Mike Trout fans in the stands today all around South Jersey. Dealing with another injury this year, and the Angels may be sold at some point, and I think that has some Trout fans hoping that maybe Mike comes closer to home to play. But still an Angel for now as this kickoff is fielded by the Jaguars.
That's the other thing, Millville's kickoff coverage. And by the way, they've gotten a lot of practice at it today. has been outstanding.
31-10 is your score. 49 seconds left in the third. Again, 2 more games coming up Later today, it'll be Cherokee against Holy Spirit at 2 o'clock. Tony Blum will be on the call. Then later today, Edison will take on Cedar Creek in the showcase finale here at the Battle at the Beach, 2nd annual. It's been a beautiful weekend. Again, last year, the Sunday of this showcase last year was had tournament organizers scrambling. Some games were played up at Camden Catholic after flooding in Ocean City, but no such issues this year. Evans under center, hands off to Lippincott, right up the gut, and he'll plow forward for a yard or two. Beg your pardon, that's actually number 21, Dom Donatelli.
Yeah, what they did was on that play, they sent Lippincott in motion, almost, I guess, as a decoy to make it look like maybe they were going to pass it to him out there, and then just ran it up the middle.
Yeah, it's tough if you're Thomas Jefferson right now. I mean, you know, obviously a run-first team, and when you're trailing by this kind of margin, you know, you got to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, and they'll just let the clock run down now for now and try to get set for the start of the 4th quarter. And the Cary Stadium clock, of course, likes to get hung up on some numbers, but I believe that is the end of the quarter. So after 3, Millville on top of Thomas Jefferson. 31-10. We'll step aside and be back for the 4th quarter right after this.
We live in a community that cares. We make sure everyone eats, everyone plays, everyone stays warm, and everyone is protected. We support our youth in organizations that teach the value of community and self-worth. We make strides against breast cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru, proudly serving our community since 1982.
When it comes to taking care of your physical wellness, maintaining good health of your bones and muscles, you want a team of doctors you can trust and who hold themselves to the highest standards. At Premier Orthopedic Associates, we believe that you should live life at your best. Our team of non-operative and operative orthopedic specialists strive for the highest standards, exceptional outcomes, and happiest patients. Come and experience the Premier difference.
All right, back for the start of the 4th quarter here. Mike Frankel, Mark Narducci, 2nd down for Thomas Jefferson. Jaguars are trailing 31-10. Quick pass to the right side. And able to churn out a few yards right along the sideline there is Jason Salmon, the junior. So Salmon makes the catch, sets up a manageable 3rd down here for the Jaguars.
Mike, what happened was on that play, it took so long to get there. That's such a long pass, even though it's right near the line of scrimmage. Millville had plenty of time to react.
So 3rd down coming up here. Again, Thomas Jefferson down by multiple scores here. Not necessarily hurrying at this point, though. I think they're focused on trying to pick up this 3rd down. Want to get the right call in, want to get everyone set. It'll be Evans under center. This is Lippincott. Millville meets him in the backfield, and he won't get there. No gain on that play. It'll bring up a 4th down and a decision here for the Jaguars.
That was an unbelievable play by 58 Nick Florian.
Yeah,
oh, excuse me, wrong team. Darian Blatchwitz, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, for a moment, it looked like they might go for it, but now...
No, I don't think you do it. The other thing is, if you're Baldwin, if you're Thomas Jefferson, who plays Baldwin next week, you just want to get a good, positive 4th quarter, because the schedule playing in the WPIAL is not easy.
This punt is away. It'll be bouncing. Millville calls poison, and now takes a roll in favor of the Thunderbolts. Finally covered up down there by big number 51, Justin Schmidt. And again, pretty good field position for Millville, just shy of the 50-yard line here, as the Bolts try to put the finishing touches on a very impressive Week 0 performance here in Ocean City.
I think this Thomas Jefferson team is going to win a lot of games, but Coach Bill Cherpak was telling us before the game how he was really worried about trying to contain all these athletic players from Millville, and his concerns are well-founded.
Some motion as Sharp moves out to his right. Handoff goes up the middle this time. Good tough run that time from Jamal Wallace Jr. Mark, he's sort of that back, not saying he doesn't have the speed of Sharp and some of the other guys, but he's just a tough, bigger runner, I guess, if you will, and can take on some more tackles and more bodies as he goes through the hole.
Well, at 205, and he's just a sophomore, you know, I think this running game is going to get better and better. And I think the end of this game where they're predominantly running is just going to help them getting all these reps against what is still a solid defense.
Now the toss to Sharp, and he shows off the speed. A little bit of a thunder and lightning duo here right now as Sharp bounces that to the outside and has first down yardage. That'll move the chain gang, get them a little work on the far sideline. They've been busy today, especially when Millville's been on offense. And with just over 10 minutes to go, Millville is on the move. Again, it's Wallace Jr. and Sharp in the backfield. This time it's Sharp, tries to bounce it off right tackle. Still angling, still on his feet, has a first down and more. Sharp, flag comes in as he rumbles for about 15 yards there, but this one could be coming back.
Sharp has had a big second half, had that return. Several big runs.
Let's see what this is. Might be a block in the back here. It'll be a hold against Millville. So that'll negate the big run there from Sharp. Back the bolts up a bit here.
By the way, Millville has to take on Irvington next week at Rutgers University.
Yeah, that's one of those games that would have been the state championship game last year had that round existed. I know that's really one of the marquee games at Rutgers.
Yeah, both regional Group 4 champions last year.
Zamat throwing to Hale. That time a little bit underthrown. Hale tried to make the adjustment. And good coverage out there on the play by Aiden Whalen.
Yeah, but there's a flag on Whalen. I think they're going to get him for pass interference.
You're right. That flag landed right on the yellow line on the field, so I couldn't see it at first.
He didn't give him a path to get to that ball.
You see that sometimes with some of those underthrown balls. Those can lead to pass interference calls, and that's what we have there. Yeah, that Irvington-Millville game, I mean, you know, that's the same type of game that we saw here in terms of Salem versus Cedar Grove. That would have been the Group 1 state championship game last year. And again, the state championship round not added until this year, but highly anticipated game, no doubt. Wallace Jr. right up the gut. Gain of about 4 there.
Yeah, you forget Wallace Jr. is a sophomore. Sharp's a junior. Hey, this is a relatively young Millville team.
Players shaken up here for Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, we saw some of these kids get touches last year. I mean, Sharp sticks out for me. I know he had a touchdown in that sectional final against Ocean City. I believe he also had one at Rutgers in the regional final. But, you know, by and large, it was the LaQuint Allen show, and why not? As we talked about, really the consensus state player of the year. Now at Syracuse, he's going to be hopefully breaking into that lineup sooner rather than later and get some snaps as a true freshman up there. But, you know, he was the offense last year in terms of the running game. But now you're seeing that there was a lot of talent behind him, and some of these other younger guys are getting their chance to show up here today, and they're doing well with the first impression in week 0.
Well, even last year, like Brooks had 36 receptions, obviously good for a freshman, but as a leading receiver, and Hale had 25. Now the thing is, they both had a lot of receiving yards. Brooks with 956 and 14 touchdowns. Hale with 374 and 2 TDs. But now, whereas they were great complementary, more than complementary pieces, now they're kind of the main pieces of this offense. And how about Zamont in his first big varsity start against again, against what I think that Thomas Jefferson team is a player down on the field that I think is going to win a lot of games this year.
Yeah, this is a Jaguars program, especially for our viewers who are unfamiliar, that really expects to be there every year for state championships. And now we get a look at the jersey of the player who popped up. That's Kruger. And
yeah, that's not. He's being helped off. He's had a fine two-way game here.
Yeah, you hope he's okay. Yeah. But Thomas Jefferson, 8-3 last year, which most programs would love, but for them it's really not good enough. They had won 5 of the last 6 Class 4A titles in PA. They finished just 3rd in the Big 8 conference last year, and they lost to Bell Vernon 21-7 in the WPIAL semifinals. And it's a team with big aspirations here, but just sort of running into a buzzsaw today. Quite frankly, Millville was regarded as the top public school in the state last year. They might be right there again this year. Sharp on the run. Puts his shoulder down and chopped down near the edge by Lowry. A couple of guys getting after it there late in the game. I give Thomas Jefferson a ton of credit for making the trip all the way to Ocean City. This is sort of what this showcase is all about, right? Fans around here, they'll get a chance to see these teams play each other plenty of times this year, but it's these kind of matchups. And you saw it last year, maybe on a bigger scale with DeMatha Catholic coming up to play Holy Spirit. But some of these teams making the long trip, really nothing to lose. You want to see what you can do against some elite teams from New Jersey.
Wallace again. In all honesty, they tried to get a different game and they couldn't get one for what we call 0 week here, and it's that way up in the Pittsburgh area too. And they tried, and then this became available to them. They were happy to come, but I think they would have liked to have been a little closer to home.
Yeah, there were
one thing, Coach Cherpak knew what he was running into. He was very fearful of this Millville team.
And we have a sack here as they get to Zamat and bring him down on 2nd down. Looks like that was number 5, Cam Egerton, storming in for the sack. Yeah, there were a few, I don't know if you want to call it last-minute changes in this tournament, but this tournament showcase, whatever you want to call it, field was set. And then there were some teams that sort of opted out, if you will, after the NJSIAA came in and said, well, look, the out-of-state competition won't count toward the PowerPoints. Not saying that's the scenario for Thomas Jefferson, obviously playing in PA, but my point is there's some teams that were sort of added late, and some of these matchups just kind of materialized only maybe a month or 2 ago as it's Sharp on the ground.
Yeah, it doesn't help the New Jersey teams if they're playing an out-of-state. Even a good team like this is not going to help Millville's PowerPoints, but Millville I don't think is going to need a whole lot of help.
Now, the decision is what it is, and certainly the NJSIAA has its reasons. In talking to some coaches, at least the ones I've talked to in the preseason, that were put in this spot, I think the frustration is more on the timing of the decision.
Yeah.
By and large, the schedule is made before that ruling came in, and you did see a local team leave this event because of it. Now, you saw some other teams stick it out and some other teams added. Another field goal is up and through. And that one off of the foot of Jaden Reynes again. Reynes having some kind of a day, Mark. He's perfect kicking today. He's got a couple field goals, 4 extra points, and Millville has a weapon in the senior, Jaden Reynes.
And both field goals from 32 yards out.
You want to talk about meaningful reps. That field goal is not going to affect the outcome of this game, but who knows, in a tighter game down the stretch, they need Reynes to kick one to win it, and he's getting some good kicks in here today. So 34-10 is the score. Still 6:36 left to go in this game. And we'll see what both teams decide to do on this drive.
What Millville won't get in PowerPoints, they'll get in playing. Forget the score. This is a quality team they're playing. And I think that's going to benefit the Thunderbolts down the road.
Might be backup time for some positions here is what I was alluding to there. But you're right, Mark. And in talking to some of those coaches, that's why a lot of them stuck it out. It's the experience. Had a chance to catch up with Ocean City coach Kevin Smith, and he His team lost in a Chamonix the other night. He knew it was going to be a tough game, but he just wanted to give his kids that experience of, obviously it's their home event too, but the experience can count, in the long term for a team, maybe just as much as the PowerPoints. Millville, again, swarming on that special teams unit. You talked about it a few times today, and that's a part of the game that largely goes unnoticed sometimes, but we've been noticing it. It's been a good unit on special teams for Millville.
Big day for that. Last year, then Millville beat Winslow 45-35 in that regional title game. I think Winslow's going to be right there again. Bill Belton, the ex-Winslow Township and Penn State standout, taking over now after being the offensive coordinator at Winslow Township. I think the Eagles are going to have something to say in Group 4.
No doubt. Winslow coming off its first sectional championship in program history. That's one of those towns, one of those schools, kind of that sleeping giant, right? A lot of tremendous football players, for whatever reason, just unable to put it all together until the last couple of years. The pandemic year, shortened season a couple of years ago. I believe they finished 5-1, 6-1, something like that. And then last year, Winslow breaking through for that sectional championship. Just a little bit of a pitch here. It's effective to Mayer. Jordan Mayer has room to move, finally chopped down along the far sideline. Good improvising there from Brody Evans to get that ball to Mayer.
I think he threw it with his left hand.
It was awkward looking. It wasn't your standard overhand throw.
By the way, Evans has made some good plays. The touchdown, the 22-yarder to Sullivan was just an absolutely great throw. Now, I think Evans in time is going to be fine. The only question is, again, we had talked about Luke Costco, who I think had kind of won the quarterback battle. He is ineligible to play. It's a transfer situation. They don't know where that's going to go. He's another sophomore, so they've got some young quarterbacks in the fold here at Thomas Jefferson.
Future could be bright at the QB position. Keeping on the ground this time. Plenty of room here for Lippincott near midfield. Rips off about a 14-yard run there on first down. And give a kid like Elias Lippincott a ton of credit. I mean, this game's decided, but he's still out there running hard.
Good for Jaguars, first down.
I like Lippincott. As we said, over 800 yards last year. He has all the looks of a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah, Lippincott still, too, just a junior. He's got the build of a senior, but still just a junior on this Thomas Jefferson team. So first down here for Thomas Jefferson as the Jaguars try to put some more points on the board before the end of this one. Trailing, though, by 24. I guess in theory, still a 3-score game.
Millville calls timeout.
Millville wants to talk things over here. Gillian's Wonderland Pier, 6th Street and the Boardwalk in Ocean City is a popular summer destination. Gillian's will be open until 10 this weekend and through Labor Day weekend, and they will give you a chance to enjoy their amusement rides every weekend in September. The summer continues through September at Gillian's Wonderland Pier, 6th and the Boardwalk in Ocean City. Visit them online at gillians.com. Shore True Value Hardware in Summers Point hopes that you will continue to shop locally. They offer friendly service and expert advice. At Shore Hardware, they'll do anything to help. They're open weekdays until 7, Saturdays until 6, Sundays until 4. Help is just around the corner at Shore True Value Hardware, 515 New Road in Summers Point. Call them at 609-927-6464 or visit them online at shorehardware.com.
You know, Mike, it's interesting. We saw St. Peter's last night beat St. Augustine 41-7 here. And if you want to compare in your mind St. Peter's to Millville, I think they have a lot of similarities. I think St. Peter's is a little bigger. Both of them have plenty of home run threats.
Yeah, St. Peter's, especially seeing the Marauders in person for the first time over the last couple of years, very impressive. And again, you know, St. Augustine, this isn't going to be their best year. They're still going to be very good in South Jersey. I think, you know, they graduated a ton, and it showed out there. But St. Peter's, you're right. I mean, athletes, playmakers across the board as that catch is made up at the 35-yard line. Big contact down there, too, but nice to see Mendick pop right up. And actually a Millville player is down after that collision.
Is it 16, Kyron Connors? I believe it is.
I know Zamat was in there too, but he's standing. I think you're right, Mark. Maybe just the wind knocked out of him as whoever it is back to his feet. Some of the jerseys are bunched up a little bit right now too. It makes it tough to see. But yeah, that St. Peter's team was, wow. I mean, especially, and it starts at the quarterback position with Champ Long. I mean, that's a big-time Division I quarterback. There's a kid going to Maryland. He was putting balls in spaces, you know, that a lot of quarterbacks just can't do. Now, he also threw 2 picks, you know, give St. Augustine credit.
Yeah.
They battled him, but just so many weapons, you know, and Fowler on the outside to start that game off. And then some kids who, one kid, in fact, quite frankly, who wasn't even on the official roster. He had changed numbers, but they just have athletes after athletes, playmakers after playmakers. And defensively, too, you know, I was impressed with London Robinson, a Princeton commit. Really led the defense yesterday. It was fun to see St. Peter's in person. I'm sure it wasn't fun for the Hermits, but, you know, credit St. Augustine for taking that game as well. It's all about seeing what you can do against that type of competition. Go over the top here, and Mayer was almost able to bring that one in. That's a dangerous throw. You know, Evans puts that one high, kind of exposes the big fella's rib cage there, but no contact. Mayer just couldn't just bring it in.
You know, besides playing Irvington, we forget Millville's in the West Jersey Football League American Division. Year in and year out, that's annually considered the best in South Jersey. Now, maybe the Independence has an argument this year, but the American is still pretty stacked. You have St. Augustine. You have Cherokee, who we're going to see coming up in the next game. Shawnee, who's always a threat in Group 4 with a big opening 2-point win over Northern Burlington. So, and Lenape seems to be rebounding. So the American is going to be a challenging division.
Yeah, war week in, week out with the teams in that division, no doubt about it. Another throw here. That one seemed to go behind Mayer, as Evans and Mayer weren't on the same page there.
That aside, Millville is clearly the favorite in that division. There's no question about it.
Yeah, it's no secret. They won a state championship this year. It's you know, it's a very similar vibe to Salem in Group 1. They feel like they are the team in their group, and you know, obviously all the cliche stuff, you got to take it one week at a time, but they're not shying away from it. I mean, this is a state championship or bust kind of year for Millville. Even with a new quarterback, even with a new head coach, they feel like they should be able to do it. It'll be a big test next week. I mean, that's an Irvington team that has a number of big-time players. And again, that was a game that would have been the state final last year. And it could be a state final preview. Who knows? Just over 4 minutes to go now. 3rd and long here for Thomas Jefferson. Time here for Evans. Now he scrambles and finally brought to the ground there. That's Joey Zamat, the sophomore. So both Zamats making an impact on this game here today.
4th and 8.
I was talking to their dad, John Zamat, before the game. John was wearing a championship ring from the United Football League. He played for the New York Bandits.
How about that? It's the kind of knowledge that only you, Mark Narducci, can bring to this broadcast. That's a fun nugget there. Obviously, you know, we talked about his oldest son, Josh, a little earlier in the broadcast. Now it's Stony Brook, and it's a football family, no doubt. .3:15 and counting here in this 4th quarter. 4th down here for the Jaguars. Pressure up the middle. Pass is knocked down, and again, right on cue, that's Zamat. Joey Zamat knocking it down, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So that just about seals it here today, if it wasn't sealed earlier. Millville will look to run the clock here, this final 3 and change off of the board, and come away with a big Week 0 win in Ocean City.
By the way, when I talked about the American Division, also Lenape and Williamstown in there, it's a predominantly more Group 5 schools, although Shawnee and Millville are the Group 4 schools. But, I mean, this is a schedule where Millville faces, you know, proven programs. They're all not going to be great this year. And, of course, Thanksgiving, they take on a Vineland team that won 2 games last year. And you think they're going to be improved this year.
Yeah, Dan Russo, his son is a quarterback again, now a sophomore.
Yeah.
I believe also named Dan, correct?
Yes. Had a really solid freshman year at quarterback for the Fighting Clan.
As Sharp gets the carry here.
And of course, that's the Thanksgiving Day game. Series, I believe, began in 1893.
Yep, I know it well. It's a lot of history between those two teams.
Yeah, we talk about Thanksgiving games dying in South Jersey, and they are. And throughout the state, I don't think it's ever going to leave that rivalry. That's
ingrained.
Means a lot to both towns.
Yeah, and even in recent years, I mean, wins-wise, state playoff-wise, as now Sharp turns the corner and he's gone. Naeem Sharp as Millville pours on the style points here today. I'm not sure Millville was looking to bust off a big one, but it was there, and why not? So Naeem Sharp takes it all the way into the end zone for another long touchdown run. But what I was saying was, Millville's gotten the better in terms of championships and playoff wins and all that over Vineland. But that game, it means a lot to both sides. And Vineland's won a number of those in recent years. Isaiah Pacheco, who's now with the Chiefs, he led Vineland to victory while he was in high school a couple of years there. But Sharp, showing off the speed there. I mean, look, once a lot of these players from Millville get into the open field, there's just not too many guys on the opposing team that can catch them.
Mike, that was 69 yards, and to show how explosive Millville is, that's tied for the smallest yards, lowest yards that they've scored on today. They've scored 73, 269s, a 94, an 84.
So the perfect kicking day continues for Jaden Reynes.
I think you made a really good point. I think Reynes is going to be a real key factor for this Millville team. I mean, there might come that close game where he's needed there, and he has just looked really good.
It sounds wild to say because the team's so explosive, but look, the games, especially toward the end of the season, they're no doubt going to get tighter. And, for those out there who maybe don't follow high school football as closely, it's not a given that these teams even have a kicker sometimes. There are years where you'd see a dominant team just go for two over and over again, not because they wanted to run it up, just because they didn't have anyone they could trust to kick extra points.
And here's the other thing. I know a lot of people think Millville's going to win every game by 30, and who knows, it could happen. But when you're playing this kind of schedule with these kind of physical Group 5, Group 4 teams, even the best of teams get a little worn down. So
kickoff fielded.
There's no doubt about this is a highly impressive beginning game.
Sean Sullivan still out there playing hard. His team down by 31 right now. And still not quite enough for a running clock here. It's a 31-point difference. I believe the clock starts at 33. So we'll play these last 2-12 straight up.
Hey, Mike, while I have time, it's always a pleasure not only working with you with doing this tournament, but I'd be remiss if I didn't say what a great thrill it is to work in the Ocean City press box named after our friend Tom Williams. Just a tremendous journalist and announcer over the years. What he's meant to Ocean City and South Jersey, and just the great work he's done, and it's just a real privilege to work in a press box, well deserved, named after Tom.
Yeah, Tom with his name on the press box, and as you said it perfectly, Mark, well deserved. Probably should have been a long time ago. I'll put it this way. I think people in Ocean City and around Ocean City appreciate Tom, but they don't know necessarily how good they have it in terms of Tom covering both them and their kids in sports. I mean, not every town, not every city has a Tom Williams, right? But the stats, the records, the facts, he just keeps it all. And then names from the past come back up, Tragically, Ray Rogers, who was a tremendous football player here at Ocean City in the late 90s, died an untimely death recently. And, people will remember him, but because of Tom, Tom went out and talked to people that played with him, coached him. A lot of those memories came back. And, Ray sort of got the tribute he deserved with the help of Tom. And if Tom's not there, that's not happening. People will remember Ray, but not necessarily the play he made in this game or this game. So yeah, just a tremendous honor to help do these games with Tom. And I know Tom had the call of Ocean City the other night, and tough night for the Red Raiders, but he's the voice of Ocean City, and he's called some fun games. Ocean City football, a little bit down maybe this year along the lines. They're young there, but it's been sort of a resurgence for Ocean City football in recent years. And
yeah, they had a rough one the other night with Neshaminy, but Neshaminy is what's known in Pennsylvania as a 6A school, the highest enrollment there, and it's going to be a factor in the District 1 playoffs. So though it was a tough loss, I think Ocean City's going to have a nice year. Riley Gunnels, I think he was named the MVP for Ocean City that game. I think he's going to be one of the better quarterbacks in South Jersey. So, and they have a tough schedule as well. So, but still, I think it's going to be a real positive season for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, Gunnels is a guy who's getting some looks at the collegiate level. No doubt about it. It's just about their line getting a little bit more mature. As now, this looks like it's Massey Kent, and you hate to see that because he's been so outstanding today.
Oh, he has, both defensively, special teams. Yeah.
It's tough too. I mean, on the one hand, you ask why are guys like that still in the game, but and we're looking at the Millville sideline right in front of us, Mark. Millville's a team that's gone kind of back and forth between Group 5, Group 4 in recent years. They never have the roster size of a school that big. They quite frankly just don't. There might not be another guy who knows the system enough to plug in at that point in the game right now.
And that's why I said you may not win every game by 30 because you can get a little banged up during the season.
So we hope that Solomon Massey Kent is okay, senior. As we mentioned, outstanding here today, making play after play on the defensive side of the ball. Now we're under a minute to go here.
Well, Coach Ayala will remember his first game, won't he?
No doubt about it. I think he's earned a little dip in the ocean here. Not sure what the Thunderbolts' plans are for the rest of the day, but still only just 1:30. Could be a nice beach day for the Bolts.
He's been a basketball head coach before, but this is the first as a football head coach.
Yeah, and in talking to the team preseason, as he gets a little ice bath right in front of us, has to feel good on a day like this. The kid said there was no change. He's a guy that's been around the program. I think it was the right hire because, look, he's not going to come in and change anything. He's going to run the same system. These kids know the system, and it's sort of a plug and play, right? They expect to win a state championship this year, and they're off to a good start. So that'll do it for this one. Millville taking care of business in Ocean City, 41-10, the final over Thomas Jefferson. We've had the last few minutes to sort of talk about it, Mark, but just your final thoughts on an impressive win here for the Bolts.
They came in with a reputation of being a big play team, and we saw exactly that. And the thing about it is there were so many people who did it. It wasn't just Brooks. It wasn't just Hale, although those two were outstanding. They have a lot of people that can hurt you in a lot of ways offensively. And I thought their defense was so fast to the ball as well. I think their defense may get a little lost in the publicity shuffle because they have so many flashy players. It was just a great effort both sides of the ball, and the special teams also were outstanding as well. This was just a complete game effort, and if Millville plays close to this level in the future, it's going to be a long season for their opponents.
All right, Mark, enjoyed doing these games with you as always down in Ocean City this weekend. Again, Millville a winner over Thomas Jefferson here at the Battle at the Beach, 41-10. For Mark Narducci, I'm Mike Frankel saying so long for now. Stick with us. Tony Blum on the call of Cherokee versus Holy Spirit coming up just about a half hour here in Ocean City.
Out meats, out supremes, out crusts, or out stuffs the Hut. Because when it comes to making your favorites, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
When it comes to taking care of your physical wellness, maintaining good health of your bones and muscles, You want a team of doctors you can trust and who hold themselves to the highest standards. At Premier Orthopedic Associates, we believe that you should live life at your best. Our team of non-operative and operative orthopedic specialists strive for the highest standards, exceptional outcomes, and happiest patients. Come and experience the Premier difference.
We live in a community that cares. We make sure everyone eats, everyone plays, everyone stays warm, and everyone is protected. We support our youth in organizations that teach the value of community and self-worth. We make strides against breast cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru, proudly serving our community since 1982.